What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami with
Kralika Kane.
And as you can see, I am now 2 cushions away from
Silver Quill, but I can still eat.
We had to put some restraining orders up after last week's hug attempt and the week before's hug attempt. Next week, if he keeps it up, he might be not even on camera.
I will consider myself a political prisoner then.
We are here to talk about Ultraman Trigger episode 4.
4 smiles.
Oh, 4 smiles. I didn't get that until just now.
Why is people looking at me creepy?
Well, I'm looking at you because you just said 4 smiles, and then I'm looking at you and looking at him. He's looking at you, but is he looking at me?
I just got rid of his wall fort just because it was really lame.
Did you see me?
Mama, can you hear me?
We're not building any snowmen, so knock it off.
I wasn't doing that one.
Do you want a crappy sequel?
No.
Anyway, episode 4 of Trigger. You go first.
What?
Who go first?
I don't care. Who go first?
Oh wait, you go. Who go?
We go.
I go. Okay, I guess we'll go down the line. This felt like a filler episode. I mean, not a lot. There are things hinted at, but you don't necessarily need to know them going forward to probably get the big reveal. Except maybe that they had a little beacon thingy. And that's not like the greatest revelation of all time.
No, that actually seems like something that's been used in so many other series. Not just Ultraman, but so many other things where they have this beacon that they unearth out of nowhere. And then it wakes up this mysterious monster. Kind of reminds me, even The Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
Where they basically go into this temple and take a book, and it wakes up this ancient evil that follows them everywhere.
Though you know what I just realized? Now I kind of want a typo in the script where they unearth an ancient bacon.
I'm a
And
bacon
it summons a monster because everything's better with bacon.
Exactly, right?
Ultraman bacon.
Except for vegan bacon. Vegan bacon actually doesn't taste that
You can have your vegan bacon. You can keep it.
There you go. But now, okay, I had Ultraman Tesla at one point, and now I have Ultraman Bacon. I'm going to come up with a whole Ultra franchise that would bankrupt the company in a week.
I know. So it's actually, like you said, definitely a filler episode. Ignis played a part in the episode. I'm just going to call him Iggy because
I'm going to call him restraining order.
Final Fantasy 14.
Right now, he's just
Or 15.
wannabe Bosco for me. Because all he is Bosco at this point.
Well, I like his new hairstyle.
Just without the seriousness. Oh my god.
So, he's
Team Bosco is blasting off again.
Because basically, he's the reason that everything even happens. Well, not necessarily, because they found an ultra ancient site, they dug it up, the Guts people, and then he's the one who's playing around with crap and takes the beacon because it's shiny.
Well, at least I know now why they're called Gut Select. Because boy, does their security suck. Like, he gets into this facility because of his looks, tries to take the beacon, gets away because nobody wants to actually shoot at him. Then he gets into their base again, is just there, no one even noticed he was there, and then when he runs into the room, nobody's shooting at him. Him and Jafar look at each other like, hey, I know you too. Oh, and then they're all pointing other guns at him, but then when the monster attacks, they all just walk away from, like, ignoring him. Like, what the hell?
First, I do have to ask, did that look like a giant crab leg he had in his arms?
Oh, the broom and the feather?
Yeah.
Kind of does because of the colors, but I wanted to see him on it with little music playing.
I thought it was a paintbrush.
It looked like a giant crab
I thought it was a
leg
paintbrush.
to me.
I was expecting him to go all like Evil Mario and Mario Sunshine, just start painting over everything.
Isn't Evil Mario Wario?
No, not that.
Bowser Jr.
It was Bowser Jr. in that one. He's got a giant paintbrush and he's painting over all the monuments and stuff.
Now, I will say Jafar was actually the standout character here because I appreciate Dave's enthusiasm, even though he got knocked out.
In like 2 seconds flat.
But it had to be Big Green Field. I mean, Big Green Field is just a little higher than training. But Jafar, he is like...
He held his own.
He held his own. I don't know what that look signifies. It's like, oh, I know you. Or it's that whole, we were dueling each other in our minds and mapped out 10 moves ahead.
Okay, Sherlock Holmes.
I was thinking more of, what was that movie that it's Chinese and it's a recounting of same events from several different perspectives as an assassin comes before the emperor? Hero?
I don't know if I've seen that one.
There's a scene where these two swordsmen are dueling, and for a minute there they just stand there mapping out the moves in their mind before they snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. And they fight each other for realsies. Wow, I've earned a double facepalm. It wasn't even really a pun.
No, but it actually reminds me of a Eminem song.
That's exactly what I got.
That's what I was like, oh my god, you're quoting Eminem.
I'm that white.
That's what I was like, really?
Anyway. But Jafar impressed me with his combat ability.
Well, I did like the fact that Dave was doing squats while standing there because, admittedly, the moment we saw that, I was like, I know somebody who would do that exactly in real life.
Because that's where we got the name, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Dave.
And then, but Yuna was kind of useless.
They were all useless.
Uniless?
I thought they were all I hated this episode.
Well, Schizo...
I really hated this episode. I hated everything about it.
Oh.
I hated the ineptitude of Gut Select. I hated Bosco, not Bosco, wannabe Bosco. I hated his Team Rocket blasting off again scene. I really do think Kengo at this episode showed that there is no character for Kengo beyond smiling.
We're being repulsed by your sheer negativity.
I am sick to death of Gabila. I am sick of seeing him in every freaking Ultra series now. We have all these Tiga and Dyna monsters that have never been reused since their series, and they keep shoving already used monsters down our throats.
Well, as I am less familiar with the Ultra franchise, all I thought when I saw the monster was narwhals swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion, because they are so awesome.
There wasn't any truly great camera work for the battle this time around.
Okay, I did hear...
Even when Ultraman's falling towards the city?
It was so quick that it never really had an impact until he landed on the building.
Okay.
But he's up against the giant of the sea.
So, there is a piece of trivia that I found that I thought was pretty cool about this episode. The overhead footage of the city used when Trigger is flung into the air is the same location used for the opening of Ultraman Tiga. So I thought that was kind of a nice little piece of history that they're trying to call back.
That's cool, but...
Wow, that's cool. We're just going to ignore that.
Yeah,
No, it's
do you
cool.
need to
It's
lean
just-
back further?
Yes.
It's just that there was nothing truly great with the camera work this time. Yeah, the miniatures were fantastic, but the camera work was just normal camera work. Wasn't anything special like the last 3 episodes had.
Yeah, the power of the X-Men franchise compels you.
Or is it the Ultraman X franchise?
Oh yeah, well, we'll see him next time apparently.
And yeah, next week, is it a freaking clip show? Because that is ridiculous to have episode 5 be a clip show.
So, yes, the way they made it seem through the previews is that they're going to be talking about the different teams similar to Guts throughout the years of Ultraman. So we don't know if they're going to go all the way back to the first team, or if they're just going to go with the modern teams.
But why is it a clip show?
Well, having a clip show at episode 5 is, in my opinion, poor writing.
Oh, but just think of the theme song for that. Come on, let's watch the clip show. We've run out of ideas to show you.
And it's only episode 5.
Come on, let's do a clip show. Our writers are bankrupt and need some time. I actually listened to the Ultraman Trigger theme song on the way here. The lyric, come on, you can be for my trigger. So, excuse me? That's like the second stanza?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I think we lost a little something in translation there.
Well, they also say pull my trigger quite a few times, so.
Giggity. Oh, wait. That reminds me.
I apologize, everyone.
Are you gonna get this video a copyright claim?
Maybe.
You only got 8 seconds to share this. When you find it.
Let's see if it's connected to my headphones. Now let's see it.
Alright, too long.
Come on, this was the Smile song.
Nope, too long. Okay, too long.
Well,
Copyright claim incoming.
How about you just edit this part out and I'll...
No, that'd be too much work. Alright, anyway,
I don't even know if they'll hear it. Too bad, I was trying to get the right lyrics.
He was trying to play an MLP.
What if I play the right song after we finish recording and you overlay it so I sound way smarter than I actually was?
No.
Well, either way, there's a Smile song. I will play it every time I see Kengo now. It's like when we were watching Kamen Rider Blade, I kept playing Bad Day over their dramatic, which fit rather frighteningly. So now every time Ken goes on, I'll just have, I love to see you smile, smile, smile. Yes, I do.
Tachibana.
Ah! Now I just have to do it. We have a war of words now.
Okay, so Iggy was entertaining. I understand where you are coming from, but I did like the fact that when Kengo said, hand over the beacon, smile, his response is, are you serious?
Are you stupid?
Or are you stupid? Yes.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, that was funny, and then but his acting was so bad in that scene as he's hanging on that thing.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mostly you hear Kengo screaming, Inagi! Or it's like a restraining order! And restraining orders on there, they're like, ah! And just like, I'm gonna fall! You know, the greatest...
No, I also like the fact that when he is like cherishing the fact that he escaped Guts, and he goes to sit on that park bench, and he is like chilling like a villain. And then he feels the world shake below him. And he's like, okay, there's something wrong here.
Though if I could get like a superimpose or half screen, he's on one side of the bench, Forrest Gump is on the other.
Would you like a box of chocolates?
And then, although what happens when the monster comes up? It's like, my name's Forrest Gump!
Forrest would probably make him his friend.
Forrest would probably run really well.
Gump is blasting off again. But okay, then we have at the end there we've got who are their names are actually based on Dagon and the Mother Hydra from Lovecraft, and we have Carmilla all talking about, oh, we're gonna get Trigger, but all this is not gonna matter because next week's a clip show.
Now, the one thing I did want to mention is early on in the episode, Yuna walks away and then we get Yuzare. And she shows that kind of scene of the three evil...
The Dark Giants.
The Dark Giants destroying everything, and then you see all this red over him. And it made me wonder,
Was it his time of the month?
Was he actually a villain, as you had made the comment to? I'm ignoring it on my feminist guilt.
I'm sorry? What's feminist guilt?
I don't know. Feminism. I'm really a bad feminist, so.
Unless she watches Inhumanoids.
Yeah. But it made me think of the whole villain argument that maybe Trigger Because the comment that you saw is that the writer for this said is not technically a sequel to Tiga.
Not technically? But they're doing so much to advertise
Well,
Tiga.
that's the thing. The director is saying it's not a sequel to Tiga. It's just having elements of Tiga.
Spiritual success?
But clearly, based on things that have occurred in these episodes, clearly Tiga happened. Because we have the one dude who was like, oh, that's like a fusion of Godzilla and Melba, who fought Tiga in the first episode. Then you have, obviously, Reina.
Who was in Tiga?
She was from
The
Tiga.
mother.
There was another character, one of the male characters, who was named Manaka, which is Reina's last name, Kengo's last name. So, if this isn't meant to be a sequel to Tiga, they're not doing a very good job of making it not a sequel to Tiga.
All I know is Restraining Order really needs to stop hitting on a teenage girl.
Yeah, because he keeps on going up to her and putting his arm, like, right above her, and it's like, you are exquisite. And I'm like, there's...
No, actually, when she got jealous, he didn't call her exquisite because he had moved on.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
She's like, I thought I was...
Kengo was like, is that really important? And then Akito was like, she is exquisite. And Kengo looks at Akito and he's like, is this really important?
So this is really happening. It's one of the few times he's the voice of reason.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite scene in the entire episode.
I don't know what to think when nepotism is trying to get a bead on the narwhal, and then a little girl falls and
With her fake crying.
with her crying, and I'm like, shouldn't you try to support the giant of light first and then pick up the child?
Well, and then she just sits there with the child, not even really comforting her, just sitting there, and I'm like, aren't you supposed to be helping people evacuate?
Actually, I was more wondering of Edgelord when he comes right up to the beacon right next to him. Hey, over here! Come eat this child! I'm like, what are you doing?
No, so as you see Akito running, all I thought of was Jurassic World when Dallas Howard,
When she was...
Bryce Dallas Howard is running in high heels away from the T-Rex, and somehow she can outrun a T-Rex. Somehow he can still outrun a giant monster that has the ability to go up and below ground.
And clap for itself. It had just a little bit of flipper in there.
I was just going to bring that up.
I felt bad for the monster. Because unlike the others, which were raised by malicious intent, this thing was responding to an accident, a signal. And so it's not... it's one of those situations like, shouldn't Ultraman be trying to chuck it back into the sea?
Which sometimes he does.
Yeah, this is actually, that's a common theme in Ultraman stuff, is sometimes they question, are these monsters really evil? Should we be destroying them, or should we be trying to help them?
Which they didn't do in this episode, and I kind of wondered that because I actually thought the same thing. And I remember even most recently Zets.
You had the episode with the mother monster and the child.
And, well, I always comment on the Ultraman monster eyes. These were really good. The baby blues. They're pointing straight forward. They're looking very aware.
Yeah, they didn't look like googly eyes.
They're not googly eyes. But, you know where I was really most mad at this episode?
Uh-huh.
Ultraman Trigger Power is riding on its back, just slapping it like, it's go on, horsey, come on, horsey. And I'm like, dude, you should be picking that thing up. You're Ultraman powered. And then he does. It's like,
I was thinking he was bull riding.
I know. I thought of a mechanical bull.
but I was like, what are you doing? You are Ultraman powered. Are you being all thunder thighs on?
I want to know why he didn't take his scissors and cut the monster's drill nose off. That would have been cooler than just smack.
Because it's not classic Ultraman.
I want to see go.
Well, I mean, the
It's
original,
not 7.
the original Ultraman like ripped off the frills on a monster and waved it at him like, hey, got your frills, now you look like Godzilla.
And then 7 sliced the monster's throat. We had Taro ripping the monster's stomach out, and then...
They showed me all these scenes. I was actually a little scarred by Taro. Like, God, damn,
And that's the
Ultraman.
kids-friendly show.
That's the kid-friendly show. Anyway, Ultraman can be a little disturbing.
But yeah, I was not
They
a
need
fan of
help.
this episode. This episode was terrible.
And it gets better next week.
Yeah, just come back to see him rage over a clip show.
Oh, I don't even know if we're gonna even record next week.
We're going to record it.
We're not watching.
Why? Because we are.
VR?
Troopers.
We are.
3. Virtual
I was thinking more of
reality.
One Piece. We are.
I was thinking the 90s, so, I'm instantly cooler.
As we talked about when we were at GameStop earlier, not everything from the 90s needs to be replicated.
Well, okay, VR Troopers was just a bad Power Rangers, but still better than Beetleborgs.
I like Beetleborgs better.
Oh God, now we're gonna have a war about something that's completely off topic from Ultraman.
Beetleborgs. I would take the ghost of Ronald McDonald any day over a talking frickin' dog.
Okay, everyone.
Anyway, back to Ultraman Trigger.
Thank
I'm
you.
getting triggered now.
Is there... Well, I don't know if there's much else to say.
No.
Oh, we haven't even talked about Schizo.
She didn't do anything.
Well, honestly, I expected that when her jet or gearwalk got damaged, it apparently got taken out for realsies. I expected her to be way more upset.
Yeah.
I actually missed it getting taken out because I saw it go and then I was like, where'd that thing go?
I did find it a little funny when, like, the anchor was in the ground. It was just wiggling back and forth. I had some of those stick figure or ice cream stick puppets in my mind, just waving back and forth. And I thought that was fun.
I think we're aging ourselves now with ice cream stick puppets.
I'm going to bring it back.
Oh, really?
Why not? I get a little stage together, make some puppets. I can summarize an episode. Ooh, in this Ultraman Trigger episode,
No, baby's not bringing it back.
Here comes the giant of light. Here comes the monster, and they fight and they fight and they fight.
On that note, goodbye, everybody.